Welcome to VHS Sisters, a nostalgic movie podcast with two actual real-life sisters.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Saysha.
Get into some comfy clothes, grab your favorite beverage,
and come hang out with us as I force my little sister to watch all the movies she missed growing up. We're making a podcast. We're making a podcast. We're making a podcast right now. Woo! Hey, everybody. Welcome to VHS Sisters.
Yay.
Welcome. Third episode of our second season. And how you feeling? It's January. What's going on?
I feel great.
Feeling good? You're feeling rejuvenated and like you're all settled into 2026?
Yeah, it's definitely been a cozy vibe so far, but I've been feeling the sparks of new things coming my way. And that's just been really exciting. You know, I'm not going to tell everyone my secrets, but I'll just say those grapes at midnight, things work. Okay.
Yes, she had the 12 grapes at midnight, and you know, casting a spell or casting intentions, I think it really is the move. So sidebar, I did finish burning my spell candle before the new year, which was like the anti-crossing or whatever candle that I got when I was going through like some bad job juju. Oh.
And I finally finished it off. It burned to the end before the end of the new year too. So now that is out of my house and I'm feeling refreshed.
Yeah, you've reminded me I need to go to the witch store today and get a couple candles because, you know, we got to protect our energy. Yes. We have to protect and defend.
Yes.
And make sure we're good and all of our loved ones are good. And you know what? We're just continuing on. It was funny with like New Year's resolutions. Everything in 2026 is just it's like a continuation of stuff that was started in 2025.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like fresh start feeling, but it's like, okay, let's continue to do the work.
Well, with, you know, Year of the Horse upcoming here now, that it's like the snake uncovered a lot of stuff. The horse is asking you to charge forward.
I love that.
Doesn't that apply like in February though, when it's actually like Chinese New Year?
Yeah. It's Chinese New Year is later. So yeah, as this pod is coming out, this is what's happening. We are charging forth with our horse energy.
Yes.
And this month as it's been said, we are watching actual good movies. And today we have covered an actual good movie. This is definitely the most adult movie I've made you watch so far. It is full of profanity and a lot of gross things. This movie we're talking about is the Jonathan Demme movie, Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
From 1991. Should have checked that. I'll say it again. What year is this movie? Like that's all I have to do is like remember what year. Yes, it's 1991. I was like, yeah, after, you know, a lot of holiday warmth and cheer, let's get into some like hard hitting essential 90s films before we move on to some more not so great movies. You know, just some good cinema for a treat. So let's open as we always do. Like, what do you have any memories of this movie? Like, I can't believe you're 33 and you've never seen Silence of the Lambs. It's crazy.
Funny because a lot of my upbringing, like the cousins who I grew up with, shout out, you know, everybody was watching a lot of adult movies at a young age as well. So it's like, I know that a lot of them have seen Silence of the Lambs. Have I seen it personally, like sat down and watched it? No. But I do know references from the movie, of course. Of course, the famous, you know, lotion on the skin reference.
Sure. Yeah. Iconic.
You know, who I guess Hannibal Lecter kind of is. Like he's a cannibal. And
he sure is. It's in his name.
Maybe like a couple other references, like some of them I know we'll touch on later with the whole like transphobic sort of curiosity, and also just like, I don't know, it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. Yeah. I mean, we can just get that right out of the gate because upon watching this, I've talked to a lot of people about this. I've talked to trans people about this movie. Obviously, trans people are not a monolith, and everybody is allowed to feel how they want to feel.
Right.
I watched this movie very young, and I have to say, like, there's no doubt in my mind that this movie like put a lot of negative imagery in people's minds about what trans people are.
For sure.
Even though in the movie, Hannibal Lecter says, I think more than once, he's like, oh, Buffalo Bill is not like a true transsexual. And they sort of like try to justify it from like, there's a lot of like psychological talk about like psychological profile and stuff like that. We'll get into it. But I just want to say out the gate, this movie is complicated. Even the filmmaker, Jonathan Demme, and the person who wrote the original novel, Thomas Harris, they have said publicly, they're like, oh, this isn't meant to be like commentary on trans people. It's you can't sort of like brush that under the rug.
Yeah, no, I think it's something that obviously in this case is motivated by different things. And it's something that like isn't unrealistic, but it's also not like, I guess in the 90s, you know, when this came out, it's not like how it is today where there's more openness and knowledge and care and love for trans people. And it's like for people getting their first impression of what a potential, you know, person could be if they were trans. This is not the great like first impression that everyone probably needed. And I think that kind of set us back a little bit. But like you said, you know, there are nuances to the performance that like are kind of sensitive to people who are trans. So it's like, it's nice that they're not saying like, oh, this man is specifically like, he's the totem, like he's the one that everyone is like, you know, it's like he's even Dr. Lecter's like, you know, no. It's different.
This movie came out in 1991. I would have seen it when I was like 12. So like that's crazy. First of all, again, we're starting a podcast with where were Saysha's parents? Why was I allowed to watch this at 12? My memories of it, of course, like all of the insane campy dialogue that you're talking about. That's the thing. This movie has like a level of camp to it that keeps it from being completely depressing and terrible. And anxiety producing. There are moments of great anxiety in it. But yeah, even like Lecter, you know, Anthony Hopkins as Lecter, Jodie Foster, one of our like gold star lesbians, like just so gorgeous in this movie. I can't get over her. But I remember like just staying on my memories for a second. This is one of the movies. This is like a Saysha sidebar that you may not know of, but I wanted to be an FBI agent.
Oh,
for a while
from watching this,
and also X-Files. So, and because my child brain, I thought the FBI, I thought wrongly that the FBI was cool. That there were,
I feel like in the 90s, that was a total thing though. Like FBI was so fascinating to everyone.
I was like, I mean, that beginning training sequence when she's like running through the woods near Quantico. And I was like, I could do this. I could be, you know, I was fascinated with like military tests. And I was like, you bet your ass I could get all those push-ups. You know, I was like the girl, and the teacher in school is like, hey, why don't all the strong boys help us move chairs? And I had like 10 in my arms and I was like, fuck you, you know? So it definitely appealed to like my desire for discipline, my desire for rules, my desire, regiment. And then also figuring out mysteries. Because I was like, between Clarice Starling and also Mulder on X-Files, I was like, oh, that's the job for me.
Yeah.
Clearly. But yeah, was way too young to watch this. There's a lot of adult subject matter. There's a lot of gore, but the acting off the charts. I think we can just say that right from the beginning.
I thought it was phenomenal, like how everyone was so suited for their roles, like the way that, you know, Clarice was like, she's out here doing unpaid internship, which is crazy, first of all. But I know, like, you know, you kind of want to make an impression on your potential boss in the future, get yourself a big role. And so she kind of goes into that, you know, holding cell, like a little confident, but you can see she's a little reserved too. Like she's not quite knowing what to expect. I find that she gets like obviously the second time she visits him, she gets so much more comfortable. But that first scene where she goes in there, you can see her face, like after she like gets out of there, she's crying. She's so sensitive, you know, it's like she's putting up this wall of the person she wants to be in the beginning. And then you kind of see that wall crack and then it rebuild itself.
It was interesting to like rewatch this. And I've seen this movie dozens and dozens of times. And it's like all of the dialogue is so iconic. And we quote it. Oh, this is another movie that Ryan and I quote all the time, like specifically the lines, was she a great big fat person? Was she about, are you about a size 14? Like all these Buffalo Bill, Bill, he's iconic, you know.
I'm honestly Buffalo Bill's like type.
I wondered if you catch that, because this is like the target is specifically targeting big girls for their skin.
Yeah, so I have nice soft skin, so you know. Shout out.
Yeah. This is you're just like, do I need that 12-step skincare, girl?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not.
I was never like a serial killer girly, but I think that this movie made me start to be aware that there was such a thing as serial killers, and to really start to watch my back and to not help any man ever on the street. Any man who's like, hey, I need something. When people stop me on the street now and ask me for direction, I back up 6 feet.
You're just like,
yeah, I either don't respond or I make it clear that I do see them, and I like, don't talk to me.
You go full crazy. You're like,
I mean, that's the only way you can deal with crazy.
Is just to be more crazy. Yeah.
Right. It's just like, yeah, how does Lecter defeat Buffalo Bill? He's more crazy than him.
Such a great point about not helping like just random people, any men specifically, you know?
Oh yeah, no, that whole scene. I mean, I've seen that scene like so many times where she is like, oh, let me help you with that couch. It's like, girl, no, get out. Like red flag.
Also,
it's like,
who jumps up in there too? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, like it's like Barbarian. The whole time you're like, no, absolutely not. We do not talk to this man. We do not help him.
We do not lift like this either.
We don't lift like that. And then also it's just like, I was like, when I grew up in the 80s and 90s, like so many serial killers, so many missing kids, so many missing girls. Like when our mom was a teen in the 70s, it was even worse. Like women literally went missing all of the time and were like raped and murdered. Sorry, trigger warning.
Yeah.
Like, but I like, this is like, like, this was one of those movies that like made me like aware of that. And I was just like, oh, right. You can never trust anybody. You can't be walking around with your headphones on in public. You have to like,
you just need to go home and feed your cat.
You got to go home and feed your cat. Also, maybe get a gun.
Yeah.
Also, maybe get a gun. Take some self-defense classes. Get bigger and also like stronger, not just big with soft skin, but like start lifting weights. So if some creepy guy tries to overpower you, you're strong enough to defend yourself if need be. So the character of Buffalo Bill, he's, you know, we were talking about like, is he a trans person? This, that. He was actually designed on a real life guy named Ed Gein. Do you know who Ed Gein is?
No.
So Ed Gein, he was like a lot of people have written about him, last name Gein. And he was in the Midwest, and he was sort of like, how do I want to describe Ed Gein? He was a serial killer. He killed multiple women, and he was making a skin suit because he wanted to like recreate his dead mom. So by definition, he wasn't a trans person. He was just like a guy who wanted to become his mom. It's like a whole thing. But another sidebar. So you know that I went to the Haunted Museum in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So they have a whole, Zach Baggins has built an entire Ed Gein room where he has artifacts from his house and a cauldron there that he like boiled body parts in. And on our tour, I'm not going to tell you every fucking crazy thing that went down on this tour, but on this tour, we were invited to touch the cauldron, and you bet your ass I did not touch that cauldron.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like, there was so much serial killer content in this haunted, in quotes, haunted house. They had the Kevorkian van, which I didn't find scary at all. I was like, I don't think Jack Kevorkian was a bad guy. Sorry.
No. Yeah. No.
Yeah. They were sort of framing it like he was this evil killer. I'm like, he helped people.
Yeah. You can't convince me. Detroit's very own.
Detroit's own. Yeah. I'm like, you can't make me hate him.
No.
I'm sorry. Yeah. It's like Eileen Wuornos. Like, no, we need more women serial killers, to be honest. But yeah, no, that's short little Ed Gein fun fact. You can go to Las Vegas and you can touch the cauldron that he like made his skin suit in.
Well, we won't, but you can.
You can if you wish. So yeah, anyway, that's where the inspiration for the character comes from.
Was there any specific inspiration for Hannibal Lecter? Or...
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And I have read the book, by the way. There are sequels to this. There are sequel books. There are sequel movies. They are not good, I think, and we don't need.
It's so funny because when I finished the film, I'm like, oh, what happens next kind of thing, right? So I go to look at the preview for the movie Hannibal, which I do remember seeing like the movie or, like the DVD or the VHS at Blockbuster. I remember seeing that image and being like, oh yeah, scary. But I was watching the preview and it's like, I think it's like Julianne Moore or something as Clarice. So I'm like, what is happening?
I mean, also one of our all-time greats. And she does a good job, I think. But it's, the trailer, everybody watched the Hannibal trailer. If you haven't seen it in a while, it's so bad. It looks, even though it was made in like 2001 or something, it just looks like AI. It's so bad. And it's like, we don't need this story. Like the whole movie and book of Silence of the Lambs is like a perfect thriller. You can just end it on that. You like the way it ends is perfect. And you can make up fanfic if you want. Hannibal is like fanfic of Silence of the Lambs, even though it was a legit sequel, because it's like, well, what happens if like she follows him to Europe and then they get to actually go to the Duomo together and like
they have a bowl of pasta, maybe a nice Chianti.
Right. They're enjoying some fine wines and some delicious Italian pastry.
It's like the Eat, Pray, Love crossover.
Oh my God. See, that's now you're creating canon like fan fiction. It's like
eat as in cannibalism, pray as in pray for your safety, and love as in I love Hannibal.
I love it. I love eating human flesh. It is delicious. Yeah, I feel like the Thomas Harris, the guy who wrote this, I feel like he's inspired by a lot of serial killers. He was a thriller writer. I think also there's a little Ted Bundy in there too.
Mm-hmm.
There's just like, it's the whole thing about serial killers and going back to like why I'm more of a ghosty girly. I'm not a serial killer girly. Some people love the serial killer podcast.
They do. Like the murder pods and everything.
The murder pod, no shame to any other pod, but like,
I don't listen to like an iconic, like the murder pod. And I did like it. I just don't have interest in the subject to continue on,
Yeah, I have such an obsessive brain. I mean, I have definitely gone down some 3 a.m. rabbit holes. And I know about there are certain cases that really like, how do I want to say it, that stimulate my brain, like Black Dahlia murder, Richard Ramirez, all the toolbox killers, like all of these, like, terrible, terrible people. Most of them who got off like scot-free, by the way. Mm-hmm. If I think too much about it, I start to get really depressed. So I can't think about it too much.
It was the time, people are just like, oh, whatever. It's the 60s, it's the 70s, it's the 80s. Let's just move on,
Well, there was like, no, that's the thing. It's like, we live in a surveillance state now. And like people, like basically when you go outside, people are constantly photographing you. And like just going outside is basically like consent to being filmed, right? But back in the day,
well, not just that, but with your phone, your phone knows where you go.
Your phone knows where you go. Like back then, they didn't have cell phones. So people would like hitch home from school all the time, disappear, show up in a ditch like 3 months later. It would happen all the time. Mm-hmm. And so like I was reminded, like rewatching this, I was like, all right, constant danger of being murdered as a woman. And like, just off the top of this movie to kind of like break it down, in a linear way.
Mhm.
It's like from the get-go, we see Clarice being sort of abused by the system the whole time. Like her creepy classmates, her slightly creepy boss, who, you know, played by the actor Scott Glenn, who is one of my famous like hear me outs. Like,
oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
no, he's like, have you ever seen Urban Cowboy?
I have not.
Wow. Okay. That might have to, you know, that's a good summer movie. That's like a yeehaw. Maybe we'll have like a whole country month.
Ooh, let's do it for July.
Let's do it for July. Yeah. Oh, that's like a, yeah. Okay. I'm putting it on the list.
Write it down.
I'm writing it down. Urban Cowboy.
I just know John Travolta's in it.
Yeah. And Scott Glenn. And
that's my association.
Scott Glenn plays like a hot, bad cowboy in it. And he's just sort of like, he's a hear me out for sure. And Jack Crawford, I don't know, like in this movie, yeah, he's Clarice Starling's boss. He's like giving her an opportunity to interview this very famous cannibal, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. And he like sends her under the guise of like giving her a questionnaire. And he's like, well, you're going to do like a psychological profile kind of deal on this guy. But they're actually like looking for other information for this string of murders.
Yeah.
Right. This other case. And I was just like, yeah, the whole setup and the premise is really, really good. But yeah, you're aware that like Clarice is constantly like being like sized up by all the men in her industry.
Yeah.
People always commenting on like how hot and cute she is.
Oh yeah. 100%,
and
like asking if she's free, if she wants to date or whatever, just like all of these things. And I want to point out too, like the directional like choices of having the men stare directly into the camera is so unsettling.
Yeah.
And it really gets the vibe going where you're like, okay, I cannot trust any of these men. So it's definitely like a women's movie.
It is like, I don't know. I'll kind of fight for this movie a little bit because yeah, people are like, oh, you know, it really is like misogynistic and blah, 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 and all this stuff. And like, you know, between like how Clarice is treated and then like, you know, the, you know, Buffalo Bill and like all of the, you sort of using women as meat thing. Like all these women are used as objects. That's brought up like a lot. But yeah, I think as a filmmaker, like Jonathan Demme, like does all these like close-up shots, like point of view shots, and like everybody's like face is like in camera. I'm like, when do you ever see this?
Looking right through the lens too. And
looking
like even
right through, yeah.
Clarice, like when she's talking to, I'm not sure what his title is, but I know he's kind of like the bad guy in a way. The other like director of investigations who's like working on the other side.
Wait,
like,
which one?
Or like somebody who like, I don't know if he like maintains like the county or the jurisdiction, but like the guy who takes her down to the cells initially and was like, well, why did you make me walk all the way down here? You know, like,
yeah. No, he's the sorry, let me get his character's name because he's a pretty Dr. Chilton. Yeah, Dr. Chilton.
Dr. Chilton, which I was like, hey, shout out Gilmore Girls.
Shout out Chilton. Yeah, he is like, yeah, the head of the insane asylum or whatever. So yeah, he's gross to her and he's like, yeah, you want to like go out later? And she's like, actually, I'm just trying to do my job.
Yeah, it's like he's staring. So like when he's staring directly into the camera and she talks to him, like, and the camera goes to her, she's looking like offset, like she's looking like off towards him, but he's looking like, you know, he's meant to look directly at you through the camera. And I'm like, oh, all these predators, man, anyone could be guilty.
Yeah, no, it's really, yeah, that's why I say like, yeah, every woman should watch this. Everyone should watch this. But I'm just like, yeah, it really puts you in like, it allows you to empathize with Clarice. Like, even if you yourself were not a woman who was in this position, you could feel for her because you're like, oh, this is what it feels like to be constantly like sized up, oogled. What's the word?
Ogled.
Ogled. Oogled. Hoggled.
Oogled. Hoggled. And I don't want to get hoggled. Ew, although she kind of does.
She definitely gets
down in this cell.
Yeah, that whole scene. Yeah, it's so it's like, yeah, she's sent down to talk to Lecter. That first scene when they meet, when she walks in and he's already standing waiting for her, gives me chills to this day. Can we talk about Anthony Hopkins for a second? Like,
let's talk about him. Love him in this role. He really deep dives into every role he does. That's why he's one of our greats.
He ate, okay? He ate it. he ate
Literally
his face. For real. No, it's like I like watching it again. It's like this, the dialogue is so iconic that like it's hard not to like have it elevated to a level of camp because it's been like requoted. There's so many movies like where people imitate him because he's like risen up as like an iconic character. But like I was so impressed by his voice work because you know how he sounds in real life. He's very proper, he's quiet, he's British. And he does this sort of like, it's like he's not quite British, but he's not quite American. His inflections are so proper. It almost sounds like he's doing like a Katharine Hepburn kind of
a transatlantic accent or something.
It's a little transatlantic. And then when he realizes that Clarice is she's poor white trash, right?
Yeah, a rube.
Oh, you look like a rube, Clarice.
Which I had to look up what that was. I was like, what is a rube?
A rube. But yeah, that's one of my favorite insults. Yeah, it's just like he's mocking her during that whole initial interview thing. And he slips into like a perfect West Virginia, like hillbilly accent at the time. And I was just like, let's give it up for Anthony. He's out here doing the most. And yeah, it's really good. And then also like I read this on the internet that apparently Anthony Hopkins he was confused when he was presented with the script because the title of the movie, Silence of the Lambs, he thought it was a children's movie at first.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And then he read 10 pages of the script and he's like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever read.
Oh,
we're doing it. And then apparently he was so like impressed by Jodie Foster that he was like kind of scared to work with her.
Oh.
So I thought that was very heartwarming. I was like, we love a humble king.
Yeah.
Because I would feel like it'd be the opposite way because he's like a little older and he's done so much. He's done so much stuff, but Jodie Foster like really meets him and she's so young and like so gorgeous. She fought to get this part. This is fun movie trivia because they wanted to offer it to a bunch of other more like bankable leads. And I think Laura Dern was up for it, who would have been great, but
oh yeah.
Jodie Foster read the book and was like, I need the part of Clarice. I'm going to fight for it. Like, so she auditioned for it and was just like, I know this part. I know how to do it.
Well, and that's how Clarice is though, so that's kind of probably why she got it.
I remember watching this as a kid and being like, oh, I want to be an actress now. Cause like she really loses herself in the role.
Yeah.
And you believe her. And I also love all like the cute little moments with her friend Ardelia. Which in my headcanon, they're gay together.
Yeah, I kind of like that headcanon for sure.
Yeah.
Because Ardelia was gorgeous.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was just like, oh, this is like your little FBI friend. She's like clapping for her at the end. And I was like, they love each other.
But she's getting it worse because she is a woman of color too. So it's like, same as Jodie, getting all of this mistreatment, asking if she's going on dates and stuff. But I would assume it's even harder.
Yeah. Whenever there's other women like on screen with Jodie, you really notice it, right? It's just like, I was like, this movie is about women helping other women.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Because like, this is all we got. So yeah, like after the interview, like Lecter is initially very rude to her.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna peace out. And then the guy Miggs in the cell next door like throws cum on her.
Ew.
It's so fucking gross. Yeah, I like had forgotten about that. I was like, oh no, I forgot he Spider-Man's her.
Yeah. Oh.
And but that's like the thing that makes, because I mean, this is why people love Hannibal Lecter so much, even though he is a cannibal and a murderer and a psychopath, he has like this moral code that is unshakable. So he's just like, well, that was rude, so I'm going to help this lady. So he's like, he gives her information so she can go find this like severed
storage
head
unit.
And that scene is so fucking scary.
Climbing through a creepy storage unit at night by yourself.
Yep.
No cell phone. I'm like, this girl really wants that promotion. Okay. Like she's out here doing the hard work.
Right. I was just like, yeah, you couldn't wait until day And then also, yeah, like maybe bring another agent with you. Maybe she didn't want anybody else getting the credit or knowing about stuff.
Maybe, but it's like, well, I guess because he did assign it, her boss did assign it directly to her.
Yeah, I don't know how that works in the FBI, honestly, in like these behavioral science units or whatever. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I was surprised that, okay, with Hannibal being the only one with the glass, you know, after that whole like jizz throw, I would imagine that guy would have some glass too. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the other guys were probably all crazy, but the thing about the glass is because they don't want to get et. So
Yeah.
it's more like they have to treat him like a literal animal.
Yeah.
That, you know, he just gets like some breathing holes.
He
And,
does.
and
But why is he low-key charming though?
He's very I mean, that's what makes him sort of like again, like this iconic character. Yes, he eats people, but he's super intelligent. He's very witty. So you think of like, as a writer, like, how do you make evil characters likable? And so you have to give them some stuff to like balance out the fact like, oh, he eats people's faces.
Yeah.
To the point. Or the other writer's device is that like you make everybody else around him worse. So like Dr. Chilton, he's not a great guy either.
No.
All these other loonies in the bin. In the bin, exactly, are like just straight up crazy. He's into art. Honestly, he draws.
Yeah.
He is a good, he's good with charcoals. He likes to read.
He's a wordsmith.
He's a wordsmith. He pays attention. He
loves to read. He appreciates nature.
He honestly, he has an eye for fashion. He notices Clarice's shoes
and the perfume that she wears and the lotion and everything. He can smell it.
Right. And I think that's why, it's a thriller. It's essentially a crime thriller, but there is this like romantic arc, even though they don't like end up together. It's like the intimacy of like knowing each other and like the whole thing that starts with that first interview. It's like, okay, I'm trying to find out about we're trying to stop these murders. You have some information, and the only way he'll continue with her is if she gives up these little trauma details.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how we get her backstory.
Yes.
And, we realize she's doing all this because, she has a dead cop dad and,
dead mom, and then had a kind of traumatic childhood. And, she's not one generation from poor white trash.
Yeah, no, I love that. Yeah.
Who isn't?
Are we one generation away from poor white trash?
I mean, you could argue that in the immediate family spectrum, there could be some,
Are we poor white trash?
I would like to, rescind the word trash and change it to something like waste,
Well, I mean, I think if you think the word trash is derogatory, that's your own thing. But it's like, first of all, we're not billionaires.
Well, no.
I'm not Taylor Swift.
No, I have to work for a living. Otherwise, I'd be doing more creative stuff all the time. You would see me out there in the world, people. But, you got to fund my dreams because I don't have a trust fund.
She needs to work. She has a cat to feed now.
Oh my gosh. Yes, guys. Development. I do have a kitty cat. We rescued it from outside.
Aw.
It was a little baby. I mean, it was not like an 8-week-old baby. It's probably like 14 weeks, I'm assuming.
It a baby.
Still baby, but a little spicy, and not really sure about humans, but I'm doing my best. And part of me wants to call him Hannibal because he lives in a cage and he may or may not eat you, I just don't want to get too close to find out. But I'm doing like the open crate feeding out of my hand and with a protective glove, of course, because he will swat. So
he will bite.
But he hasn't bitten. He just swats and hisses. So
okay.
I'm able to get the other glove and pet his back while he's eating. So we're making progress. But we have to get him to the vet before we do any more like out of cage training for him, because I just don't want him to like run and hide while he's like sick. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, step by step. Well, that's a great development. I love that. I think it's funny that you want to call this innocent creature Hannibal.
I mean, he's got a couple names, as all cats do.
It's true. I also have a secret special name that's inside that you'll never know.
Who, the cat?
Yeah. You'll never know that's in the musical Cats.
Oh.
They say that. We could talk about Cats the musical if you want. Want to talk about that?
We can at some point, yeah.
All right, maybe. Okay, I've
never watched the whole thing through. I know some of the music from it, though.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's our 15th pod, which is Saysha talks to Melanie about musicals. I don't necessarily want to talk about the movie. I want to talk about like the original.
Well, yeah, I don't want to talk about that movie ever if I don't have to.
I think that's when all the bad things started happening.
It is, yeah.
At least like visibly in this nation. Not that bad things didn't happen before. I'm going to blame Cats the movie.
I 100% agree.
You know what? Another thing that I rediscovered through this movie is how cool it is for a woman to have a gun.
Well, yeah.
And I was like, hell yeah. This is a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
like just to like arm yourself.
Train yourself well,
Train yourself with those open carries, baby.
And that's kind of what I liked about, seeing Clarice throughout her FBI training and things like that, where she's like, they're doing like raid scenes, right? Like they're going in and raiding, and then like someone comes up behind her and like puts the gun to her head and says, "You're dead." Like, did you check your corners? Did you, you have to really be prepared. And I thought it was, it's just great to have this sort of training, especially in this time. It's nice to be able to understand a firearm and know how to clean it, know how to, make it safe and make sure no one else gets their hands on it and protect yourself. So
put a gun together in the dark.
Yeah,
definitely if you come into a space and you're not sure, close off all your exits.
Yes.
And then you're going to want to get in a corner. There's just these basic, like regular vigilance things that you need to know how to do. I just thought that was I thought it was very cool. I loved all the physical training stuff so much. And it's kind of extra funny because Clarice, Jodie Foster, the actress, I mean, she's so small and she's so little and she's just little. Like, she's little, the shiniest brown hair and like this long bob, it just always swishing and swooping everywhere. But also, like, again, another movie like that was made in the early 90s. And I'm like, wow, nobody has Botox. Everybody has natural, slightly fucked up teeth. Everyone's still gorgeous. It's fine. You can see crow's feet. They're all in their 20s. I'm like, oh, right. That's normal.
Right.
And it's almost like healing to see it. I was just like, oh, great. That's what normal faces look like.
Exactly.
It's comforting in a way in this very like uncomfortable movie. So, yeah, we're sort of like led on this thread of like, gathering clues. We're putting the pieces together.
Yep. She comes back and visits him again. And then like, I would say like from first to second visit, she warms right up to him. She's sitting right in front of that glass and she's coming in from the rain. He pushes her a towel out of his, feeding tray slider thing.
Yep.
And honestly, I was like, okay, bae, that's so sweet. Like,
So wait, you were like falling for Hannibal Lecter.
I was like, he's getting me.
Wow, this is upsetting to hear, but
he's gonna eat,
Yeah, he gonna eat the house down.
He's gonna eat the house down. No, I'm just saying. It's like, it's funny because I see her warming up to him in a way because of, like we were mentioning earlier, like all of this objectification she's getting by her peers.
Right.
Her bosses, things like that, men in power, men around her, that when she's interacting with him and he actually like takes, interest in obviously wanting to know about her life, her upbringing, trying to feed her clues. Obviously, he's really incredibly smart. He's a doctor.
Right. He was
psychology, right? Like,
he was a psychotherapist.
Yeah.
So he's basically like her therapist in a weird way.
Yeah. And then he offers her the towel to dry her off. And she's like, that's like a nice gesture to see like this man who is really, at his core, I'm assuming evil.
Yes.
But has a soft spot for Miss Clarice. And I'm just like, that's nice.
Wow. This is like, that's the thing. It's like you get a fictional male character and he can be a total piece of shit. But if he offers the tiniest gesture of kindness, women
warm up.
Women are like, my
My king.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say something really disgusting, but I'm trying to keep it PG. I was going to say like
well, you said come already. You don't have to keep it PG.
Oh, right.
I was like, jump scare.
What am I supposed to say? That's what it is. What are we supposed to say? I'll cut this out. But like what I was supposed to say.
I said jizz.
Jizz is worse.
Is it?
Jizz is way worse.
I think the cum hits different, you know?
cum hits different. It is pretty gross. A lot of people don't like C words. I'm sorry. What should we refer to it as? Semen, seed? Somehow. Yeah, it's like what is an acceptable? It's like you can't say we can cut all this out, but like what do you say? Like
blast.
Yo,
what do they say in like ACOTAR and all of that? His whatever. His
release.
Ew.
Yeah, that's again the euphemisms are even worse. His velvet wrapped steel. Disgusting. I'm gonna throw up in we simply can't keep all of this on the podcast, but maybe we will. Maybe we will. So yeah, she's trying to figure out these clues. In the meantime,
homegirl gets stolen up in Tennessee.
Exactly. Our homegirl, her name is Catherine Martin.
There we go.
She has been snatched up by Buffalo Bill, because
she was a dumbass hoe trying to help people move furniture.
Yeah, she was too nice. She was given that Southern hospitality to Mr. Buffalo Bill.
To be fair, I feel like he would have got her one way or another. She just fell for the bait. Yeah. Can we give it up for Ted Levine too, who plays Buffalo Bill? Like an iconic, disturbing performance. I know this actor has gone on to do many other things. He was in Jurassic World. He was in Shutter Island. Like he was in the Fast and the Furious. Like he's been in a ton of stuff. No shit.
Like, well, he's like a real actor. Like he just like kind of disappears into these characters. But like if you would just see, like you would just believe he's that guy, right? Like his weird like deep voice and like all of like his weird affectations, and it's just like a creepy, very authentic performance.
Oh yeah.
And again, like another character who is a full psychopath, but he's got a soft spot, and it's for his little dog Precious.
Precious.
Can we talk about Precious for a second?
I wrote a note about her because she's so fucking cute for a poodle, and I'm not a big poodle person.
Well, she's a
just
Bichon.
Because of the eye drip and stuff.
Yeah, she's a
Bichon?
She's a Bichon Frise. Yeah, not a poodle. No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean they're similar.
They're close. She's so well groomed and chubby.
She's in the credits so her actual name was Darla.
Yeah, I know. Darla.
Yeah, Darla as Precious. You can't see. I'm holding up a picture of her, but she's very fluffy. She had a huge acting career. She lived till she was 16 or 17.
You go, girl. You go, Darla.
She was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh.
Coming to America, The Burbs, Batman Returns, and Silence of the Lambs.
This bitch worked.
Honestly, though, give it up for Darla.
Darla is the star of the film.
Darla, yeah,
her career went far. I mean, was this her first film, or was it? I'm assuming this is.
I did a lot of research on Darla.
Sooner than that, yeah.
Yeah, no, Darla began her career in 1985 in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. She played the pink poodle that Pee-wee's girlfriend brings out, and but
Dottie.
Her most notable role was Precious in the 1991 film Silence of the Lambs. It turned her into a cult icon, and she became the subject of a Facebook fan page titled Precious.
I love Precious.
Yeah, no, the whole design of like Buffalo Bill's lair lives with me. I'm like, who has this like labyrinth like basement in the Midwest?
I've been in a few like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Let's talk, because this is a very like Midwestern movie too. I mean, it
Midwest basement. You got to know if you're from the Midwest.
Yeah. I was like, oh, right. There's a well in it. Like everybody has a friend who has like a well in their basement.
Or it's a sump pump, you know?
it's like a dry, it's like all these like separate rooms that you can like, I'm like, look at all this space for activities.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
You can totally see where Barbarian got their, ideas from with this labyrinth basement.
100%. Yeah. It's like, oh wow. Like, yeah, I can tie up a woman here. I can put a body in a bathtub.
Put a creepy mattress on the floor.
Yeah, I'm like, everything is just like so gross and like dingy. His whole house is like so foul. And I was just like, I'm like, I can't believe like somebody made this, like, or
the
like
set.
Somebody designed the set, right? And I was just like, it just seems like it is a place. It's like very rooted. Everything's very like rooted in reality. Yeah, like his whole setup, his bedroom, he's got like the Nazi imagery everywhere. Yeah. And then also like, he's doing his little dance, he's getting dressed up. He's out here making clothes out of women's skin. So there's like I feel like, again, I'm not speaking for all of the LGBTQ community.
Sure.
I will say there is like there's also a campiness to him that is sort of like delightful in a way.
It is. I was gonna say, it's a little enjoyable to watch him.
It is. And he's a man doing bad things, but right. It's like, but there's just something about it that's like kind of kooky. And I'm just like, this guy is so not serious. Like, I was like putting on this like garage door eyeshadow. I was like, somebody needs to help him.
This is the importance of having community.
Exactly.
At least to tell him that his eyeshadow was not it,
Yeah, girl, get some help on that. Yeah. It's not correct. Deep condition that hair.
Condition the hair, take a nice bath, layer, powder, spray, because that basement be musty.
Clean out that bathtub with the rotting body in it. You need to comment that whole thing or just get rid of it.
Right.
At this point, it's a lost cause.
Yeah.
So that was so confusing to me at the end. I had to look it up because I was like, who's this body?
Is it the lady who had the house?
It's a lady who had the house. Like
the seamstress or the sewing teacher.
Right. Like he found out she had a big house. He came to her house and he killed her and then took over the house. Right. So like, that's where like Clarice, when she's like researching one of the other murders, she like starts connecting the dots and she's just like, oh, this person was a sewer. Oh, okay. And then she's figuring all this out.
The answers are already in the file, Clarice.
Right. Exactly. No, it's cool. It's like, it's very cool. It doesn't like over explain it either. Mm-hmm. If you do read the book, it breaks it down in like detail, like more detail.
Okay.
So, and I think it's pretty good. Like, it's like if you read it, you would get more information if you wanted it. But I think they lay it out pretty good.
I think the most disgusting part I want to talk about, like gross outs, because
sure. Let's get gross. Woo!
It's funny because to me, all of the flaying of the people and the biting of the face and all that stuff, it's not that gets me. It's this fucking like bug collection that Buffalo Bill has that creeps me out the most. Wait. I hate the bug. The bug in the throat is so fucking gross.
Ugh. So you don't care if a man takes your skin, but if you put the bug in the throat, you're out of there.
I'm out of there. I'm out of there. If I'm not dead, just kill me because come on, I can't handle that.
Wow.
Absolutely not.
So you wouldn't have been hanging out with those like PhD bug guys, like.
No, with the cross eye, no, definitely not.
That guy, yeah. I just thought that was such interesting casting. I was like, oh, this is
great casting, though.
Great casting. Yeah, I was just like, oh, we got this cross-eye guy also hitting on you, this bug guy. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was very, super interesting. So wait, you were more grossed out by all of the death head moths flying around as opposed to, say, dead lady in the bathtub.
I mean, she was pretty gross too, and I'm not denying that, but I'm just saying that the bugs are, again, that's my same thing with it, when they're eating the Chinese dinner and the bugs are there, I can't, I hate, like, I don't know what type of bug it is. I don't know what type of like exoskeleton it has going on, but I don't like it.
Yeah, they're, I didn't mind the bugs so much, but I understand your phobia and your dislike of them.
Is it like an encephalopod or I don't know what the hell it is. That's something.
Well, like what is the genus of a moth?
Yeah, it's got to be so similar to like a cockroach, which is my least favorite.
I don't know. Yeah, we could do a deep dive about the death head moth. Yeah, death
Entomology.
head
Yeah.
moth. Death head moth. Here it is. They
Oh.
give like the actual species name. So the moth, it's the lesser death head's hawk moth or bee robber. It is a moth found in Asia, very fond of honey.
Mm.
And
so yeah, it's stealing from the bees.
It's stealing from the bees. They are also known to be pests of yuzu in South Korea because they use their tongue to damage the fruit.
Gross.
Welcome to Science Corner, everybody.
Yeah.
We've moved on from fashion. It's the revolution now. And now we're talking about science and guns.
Science and guns.
We've
the only two things that matter.
Pretty much. Yeah. So yeah, wow. I could really get into the whole Wikipedia of this moth because it's very interesting. But you are not so much a moth fan.
I don't mind moths, like smaller ones. I think it's like when bugs get over an inch long, that's when I start to like lose my cool.
So you're saying you're not going to put a whole like hive of them down in your basement now?
No, although my basement, kind of lends its creativity and like set design to that of Silence of the Lambs because it is a Midwestern basement.
It's much smaller though, our childhood basement.
Yeah, it's very small. It's just that, foundation brick down there with like a sump pump and a floor drain and like your water heater, a deep freezer, and washer and dryer. That's all you need.
That's all you need.
No bathtub.
Right. Yeah. There's no body in a bathtub down there.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we missed anything.
Oh, of course. Yeah. There's so much to talk about. And I want to say that when Hannibal gets clearance to go to Tennessee, I believe he gets transferred to go speak to the congresswoman whose daughter is in the basement of Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
He comes out with the mask and like the way that he kind of is derogatory towards her, talking about like, oh, like your daughter, like you breastfed your daughter,
right?
Oh, does your boob ache now that she's gone or something? Just like some Freudian shit that he's putting on her, some juju, and I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah, it's like the way he talks to everybody basically, but you can tell he's like a psychopath in the sense that like the thing about psychopaths, like people who murder, like they usually don't feel emotions like we do. Like they can do these horrific things and not feel anything. Like you couldn't commit like cold-blooded murder, right? You couldn't like, just like chop up, maybe you could kill in self-defense, right?
For sure.
But, just to like follow somebody and then kill them, like you're trying to feel something, right? That like they're getting like a little bit of a thrill. So I feel like asking all these questions, like he's trying to understand like emotion, right? And it's like that's why he like gets off on like sort of provoking people, like he wants to get a reaction from them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, he goes to meet is a congresswoman or a senator?
Something.
Yeah, it's some she's a high-ranking political official. And that's the only reason like why the case sort of like gets pushed, because like they gotta find this woman's daughter. Like she's somebody rich and important, which is like such a sad, fucked up thing too. Like there's a lot of commentary in that. It's like, think of how many like poor women go missing in the United States and like no one gives a shit. But it's like if somebody with like power and influence is like, oh no, my daughter's missing, they can like make it happen. It's like, yeah, y'all have the means to do this. You just, you're only motivated by like power and money.
And that's kind of what I feel like. I mean, with Hannibal's relationship with Clarice, he came from more of like an empathetic viewpoint, like second time around, like as he got to know her more.
Right.
Because she is this poor white trash, essentially, like trying to make something of herself, and she has a brilliant mind, and he wants to, tap into that a little bit. Whereas like he sees this other woman who's like, had money and power her whole life, and here she is, crying obviously for her daughter, not like uncommon, it's not unthinkable for her to do that, but like he's just kind of like gives it to her like a little bit, and digs at her, and I kind of like that.
Yeah.
That's me with like my, that romance arc that people comment on, saying like, oh yeah, they have a relationship, although it's not like that sort of relationship.
Yeah, I think what I'm gathering from this is that you kind of love an anti-hero.
Yeah.
And like somebody who can like sort of stand outside society and poke fun. You love and you love a little jester character,
A little bit. Nothing crazy, but a little bit.
Just like somebody who's a sassy little guy, and that's who Hannibal Lecter is at his core. He's a sassy guy who likes to eat people, and then
they store him. Yeah, they store him in this like non-maximum security style setup. I'm assuming in this building that they're visiting the congresswoman. I'm just calling her congresswoman. I don't know who she is. Where they're visiting her.
Right.
And so they build this like makeshift cell, and Clarice is able to come talk to him there too, which is, a really great scene where she's kind of piecing together things. She's demanding answers from him, and he's kind of giving it to her in his way of giving things.
Right.
And, the two guards go in for mealtime, and he happened to have that pen that he got, broke it apart and took a piece out to get himself uncuffed from the wall and just gets himself some delicious rare meat.
He's munching on these cops, and
he's munching and crunching.
He had a good munch and a crunch for sure. Yeah, I was thinking like this whole time, like with the stealing up. I wrote in my notes, I was like, how did he get that pen? First of all, I'm like, did he just like reach with his long little fingers and get it? Because it was still kind of like far away from him. But I'm like, okay, so he secured this pen and all these pen parts, and
maybe that guy left it on accident, like he forgot about it, and they were able to like unrelease him in that cell or something. I don't know.
He got his hands on some metal, and I just want to give a shout out to his lock picking skills, because I'm like, if you ask me to like pick cuffs behind maybe I should practice.
Yeah.
Again, more readiness training we're getting ready for in 2026. Like, let's all learn how to unpick handcuffs.
Yeah.
Let's do some lock picking. Actually, it'd be really cool to get like a lock picking kit and practice on locks. Like, that's a really good, like, as opposed to like crocheting or something. Nothing against handicrafts.
I mean, you save yourself some money if you lock yourself out from your apartment. You don't have to call a locksmith.
Right. But like knowing how to like pick like, handcuffs. Great skill. Great skill. So yeah, he does that. He bites a face. He's munching everybody. And then like, there's this very cool sort of switcheroo at the end, like rewatching it. I was just like, oh, this is like a good screenplay.
Yeah. I really thought he was on the roof of the elevator.
Right. They get you with that because they were just like, or like, something's amiss, but you don't know exactly what it is. It's like, well, where is he? Because clearly that one cop is all like, blood eagled up in the cell.
Yeah, he is dissected. He is filleted.
He's filleted up there. He's there. I wrote in my notes, I was like, wow, Lecter really did some redecorating in here. And honestly, I love what he's done with the place. And like he's got like buntings up there. I was like,
he like twisted everything and made him like hang with it, and he's got an eye for decor.
But also, like, how did he get up there? I'm like, did he climb? Like, how long
of a time was this? Yeah,
exactly. I'm like, that would take me 6 hours.
Right. I'm assuming it took him at least one.
Yeah, I was like, oh, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, and then he had to like basically take the other guy
off the other face,
slice off the other face, and then dispose of the body, and then lie there with the mask
change
on.
Clothes for
change clothes. Yeah,
dead body. Yeah,
it's a whole heist. So
throw the body on the elevator shaft.
Yeah, he's got to have like tremendous, like superhuman strength. He's got to be doing his fit like. Was Lecter just like doing calisthenics in his cell for like 10 years or however long he was at the asylum?
Maybe so.
Yeah, that whole thing at the end with the switcheroo with the bodies, and then you realize like he's in the ambulance.
Yes, crazy work.
It's crazy work. Yeah. And he like takes the other guy's face off. I was like, oh, this is some Hollywood screenwriting.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. Yeah. And it's like, you wouldn't guess it like your first, I assumed you didn't guess that the first time watching.
No, I was surprised the whole way through. Even when she was like the very beginning of the movie, when Clarice is running through the woods, which made me go, oh, I would really love to get back into hiking, because that was like a lot of fun, good period of my life where we would hike a lot.
Sure.
When she was running through the field, the training facility, I wasn't sure if it was just like a nature trail that she was on.
Right.
And like Hannibal was going to come out and get her like right away. Like, well, like what was this? And then it unfolded and then unfolded. So like, obviously watching this the first time, I was not expecting him to be the guy with the face. Like, it's just, oh man, that was so good. He cut the face off of the officer and wrote in the, got an IV, which is great.
Honestly,
like,
yeah. And
got medical care.
Yeah, and I love the whole time they're commenting, like they're
you look great.
Yeah, they're telling him he looks great. I'm like, his whole face looks fucked up. Also, like they're like, his vitals are good. I was like, no one thinks to like,
he's breathing, it's fine. Yeah.
They're like, okay. his vitals are good, and they're just like focusing on that as opposed to like, why are his vitals good? He's got his whole face fucked up and his whole body's fucked up. It's just like, yeah, it's a great little switcheroo at the end. There's a couple switcheroos, and that was the thing too, like as we're getting towards the end of the movie. Yeah, it's so funny because like rewatching this, and I had to pause a couple times just like write stuff down, like all that happens, and then there's like maybe like 25 minutes left of the movie. Mm-hmm. And I knew what happens. I was like, how do they cram all this shit into 25 minutes? Because you see movies now, like Marvel movies, where it's like 3 hours, like literally nothing happens.
Yeah, just like the guy like gets a stone or something. Or
guy gets a stone, and there's a bunch of guys flying around, and people shoot, and that's it. And there's nothing. I was like, they packed this plot in, because I'm like, I knew that there had to, I was like, we haven't even gotten to the Buffalo Bill dancing around to Goodbye Horses yet, which is such an iconic scene. Love I'm like, that hasn't even happened yet. I was like, go on, work it. work that puss out. Let's go.
I'd fuck me.
Yeah. It's like, again, another line I will say a couple times a year at least.
And that's one that I know, like, that's something that is so relevant. Like, even as just in the zeitgeist.
Right. It's in pop culture. So like, even if you've never watched this movie, I'd fuck me.
And there's so like many references to it in other movies as well.
Yeah. There's a lot of, there like many other, like, especially comedies refer to this movie.
Exactly. One of which is an Adam Sandler movie that's like, is it Billy Madison? I think it is. Billy Madison, where Steve Buscemi is like a murderer that he had went to school, like, so they went to school together or something, or I don't know. He goes out and he's like writing on his list of people to kill, and like after Billy kind of made amends with him or something, like later in life, he like crosses his name off the list with the lipstick and then like puts it on his lips and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's like, another sort of like way that like this idea of like, trans or gay people as like psychopaths has like crept into media in like, I would say a negative way, but it's used like for comedy. And it's just like, but that scene is so iconic. Yeah. It's like once you see it, like you can't forget it.
Yeah. Especially when he backs up and he's tucked too. I'm like, wow.
He's fully tucked. Yeah. And I was just like, you know what, Bill?
His body looks good.
Honestly, honestly, okay, this is the clip we used for this movie. Buffalo Bill, let's just say it, body is tea.
Come on. That body looks good. He's working the muscles too. He's lifting all them big ladies.
Yeah. He's getting his fitness on. He's lifting these size 14 girls.
Which ain't shit,
Which ain't shit. Which
you got to be too something to do something, baby.
Exactly. Yeah, it just goes to show how, like, how our perception of like who is like a big girl, a plus size has really
Right.
like, remember when you were over like a size 10 in the 90s to be like, oh, you fat cow.
Yeah.
And
I
now
was
it's
like, oh,
like,
my dreams to be like a size 9, a medium. I'm like, I don't know what that means anymore. Cause
I
like vanity sizing with all companies, like you could be a large here, a small there. It really doesn't matter. As long as your clothes fit you, like just buy big and tailor down. If this movie teaches you anything, it's the importance of sewing and like taking a sewing lesson, learning the art of tailoring.
honestly,
It's so important.
if you don't have the clothes that you want, just learn to make them, girl.
Yeah. Make the clothes for you.
Even if you have to take someone's skin.
Well, don't do that, but
I mean, you know, yeah, what is human skin but just, you know, a different kind of leather.
Leather, yeah.
Yeah, wow. This podcast has really taken a dark turn.
Sure.
I was thinking it's so funny because like when we initially came out with the podcast, I feel like we're going to have to rebrand because I was like, oh, this is such a cozy podcast. And we talk about like, we're out here talking about like the most disgusting shit most of the time. Like
trigger warning, not cozy.
Trigger warning, it's not really that cozy. You know, we talk about like, you know, real reality stuff and like, you know, woke political rhetoric. And honestly, if that's who I am, I'm not going to be ashamed of it.
I can't hide it.
Fucking deal with it. If you don't like it, turn it off.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Idiot. How about you go sit in a well?
How about you go down in the well and live there with your dog?
Oh, and then, yeah, another callback to my favorite line that I came up with in season 1 is, you know, more pets in Silence of the Lambs than there was in Pet Cemetery.
I think there were equal. Well, if you count all the death head moths, that's more pets.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying there were like 2 cats.
Right.
There was Precious.
Yep.
And the mention of lambs, I guess, you know, and moths.
And moths. Yeah. More pets than Pet Cemetery. That's never not funny.
I'm so upset by that. I was just like, man, where are all the pets?
I'm so sorry. Yeah. This is definitely like a scarier movie than Pet Cemetery. And also more pets. Yeah. It's a thriller. I was like, ooh, yeah, I love a thriller. Maybe we'll do some more of that. So yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like the big ending of the movie is where Clarice shows up to Buffalo Bill's house. She figures it out. She solves the puzzle. She gives her boss the wrong address, which honestly, very dangerous.
Yeah, I was like, this whole thing, the fact that like she shows up at Buffalo Bill's door alone, no cover. First of all, she flashes her FBI badge. So she outs herself as a federal agent and she's in there. She goes into the house. I was just like, girl, you are great. Like you, as you said, she's really gunning for this promotion. She wants gold stars.
She's got nothing left to lose, I guess, you know,
like she is just wilding out. And I was just like, at the end, I was like, this is literally, I mean, it definitely makes for like a cool end to the movie, but I was like, this is wild. And I was like, she's going into this gross house. Buffalo Bill, like he realizes like Catherine's got his dog. He's already freaking out and he's got this fucking gun. It's like a hand cannon.
Yeah.
I was like, I want that gun.
Yeah.
give me that gun. Yeah. It's just like that whole sequence is like, so the whole scene when they meet, I was like, I can't believe, like the whole time. And I was on edge. I was on edge and I was just like, I've seen it too. I've seen it so many times. And I was just like repeating to myself, watching this. I'm like, I can't believe she's doing this. I can't believe she's doing it. Like, it's so bold. And the whole thing of like, you can see her like in her head, like wondering when she's going to pull her gun on him.
And I think too, because of her experience with Hannibal, it's like, she knows that if you approach him as a solo female, it's finding it less threatening than if it was like a swarm of SWAT like people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's something where, I mean, she should have been a little more prepared, you know, and had people surround the house maybe, because it's not like he had a ring cam or something. It's like,
yeah, I think that I now that I'm thinking about it, I was like, well, you know how like her boss, like when she went to the other girl's funeral and he's like, I can't have you in the room, or like you only have like he would kind of like not fill her in totally about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just sort of like, no, this is my thing. I've done the research. I have the clues. I figured it out. It's my case now. And honestly, she kind of does like a selfish thing, but also like it's her character arc, right? Like she wants to save all the lambs. She wants to save all the girls. Like her whole life is just like, I'm going to help you, because she's got to work out her own dad trauma or whatever.
Sure.
So yeah, like that whole standoff in the end is one of like the best like endings to any movie. She has to go in the creepy Midwestern basement.
Yeah. I mean, she could have ended it by just popping him right in the leg immediately.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not going to kill him, just weaken him in the leg as he starts to back up or turn around. But don't even say stand, freeze, whatever, put your hands behind, blah, blah, blah. Forget that. Boom, right in the leg. Down, continue on, get the thing, whatever. Anyways, doesn't happen like that.
No, I want you as a first-time watcher, please break down the ending of this movie.
Okay, so it doesn't happen like that. He grabs his gun and goes, and he's going into that creepy-ass basement. She follows him down. She's checking her corners. You know, I'm like, he could have easily slipped into the dining room and just like hit you right in the back of the head. Okay.
Right. Girl.
You know, I feel like he isn't somebody who wants to murder by gun. You know, he just has it for the sake of like his own protection.
Right.
And so he is basically, I mean, he doesn't like lead her down there. She follows, you know, into the basement because that's where the girl is, you know, rumored to be. And she's discovering, going through all of these like walls and doors and like almost like cavernous basement, and just all the ways that it could lead. And, you know, she's uncovering different things. She sees the room with like the Nazi propaganda on the wall. She continues on, finds our girl in the well. And the girl's like, "Don't fucking leave, you bitch!" Like,
I love that, by the way, because it's so real. I mean, her performance as Kathy is like, it's so authentic. Like you feel like the way she's sobbing in the well, and she's like, "I want to see my mommy," and like all this stuff. Like, I was just like, "Oh my God!" Like she like breaks my heart. But like when Clarice is there, it's not like, "Oh yay, you're here." She's like, "You fucking bitch! Like you better
get out of here."
Yeah. It's so like the reactions are so real. Yeah, Precious is freaking out. The girl's screaming, and she just wants her to shut up.
Yeah.
So she can hear
where this guy is at coming from. Yeah. So she's like trying to go out and snake out and find him, but she's closing off exits. She's looking around. She gets into her room, and then the power cuts.
It's so fucking scary.
It's so scary. The basement's dark. And this guy, of course, has night vision goggles. So you're getting the scene of them, like him following her around, and you can see her reactions, like checking, like trying to like align herself in this dark ass basement.
Yep.
And it's just so good and so effective. And you see him like reach out to her because she's just right there. And that's the eeriness of it.
Yeah, like he can see her, but she can't see shit.
But he's got a gun, right? But like it's not for him. He doesn't want to kill her, oddly enough, maybe because she's not big enough. But
well, he does go to shoot, and that's the thing that gives him away. Like it all happens so quick. But that was the thing, like she wanted it quiet because the only thing that saves her in the end, like she can't see anything,
but she hears the cocking of the gun.
She hears the cocking of the gun, and she just
turns and
turns and shoots, just goes for it because like that's her only shot. Yeah,
and she does, and she shoots them, and the light, she also hits the back of, either he hits it or she hits it, somebody does, the boarded up window, so the light comes in and she can see him. She did get him. Yeah, it's so good. Like you just feel like you're holding your breath through that whole last 10 minutes, and then you can finally breathe when he's dead. I know. And to me, it's like, it kind of reminds me as to why they keep prisoners alive, because in my mind, it's like a waste of taxpayers' money, especially if you're like a time murderer, you know, homicidal maniac. You know, what are we doing with these people? You know, they're using obviously like Dr. Hannibal and things like that, like to get, I'm sorry, Dr. Hannibal Lecter. They're using him to like, you know, because he's so smart and he has a lot of information and has worked with people in the past who've also apparently now, you know, have been convicted of murders and crimes themselves. So it's like, sometimes it's worth to keep people alive, but other times it's like, yeah, just shoot this Buffalo Bill guy. Like, just end this shit. you know?
Yeah.
What else are you going to do if you keep him alive? Put him in a cell for 30 years until he dies? Like, waste of time and money.
Well, it's funny you say that because it's making me think of, I mentioned earlier when we were talking about serial killers, I mentioned the toolbox murders, which I don't know if you know anything about.
Toolbox murders? No.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to get too into it on this pod. It was basically two guys who like raped and murdered a bunch of teenagers. And there were like audio, like one of the things that they would do is that they would tape what they did with these girls. And like, that's how they like got off on it. Right. Like pure evil. It's pure evil. And they had all these tapes, and Scott Glenn, the guy who plays Jack Crawford, he was really trying to get into his role. And these are tapes that they actually would use in the FBI to, how do I want to say, desensitize people. Like you're going to see, like, you're going to hear the worst shit. You're going to hear like audio evidence of like men like raping, torturing, murdering women. Like that's real. And like, you're going to now understand that there's like real evil in the world.
Right.
So Scott Glenn, the actor who was like very liberal and anti-death penalty, completely changed his mind because of listening to those tapes. I mean, there were like detectives in that real life case who like had to undergo like therapy because they just didn't understand like how men could be so evil. And I think that's one of the things that like this movie brings up. It's like, oh yeah, there are men and they are evil. Like evil is real. It's like The Exorcist. Like, you're just like, there is just this thing, like we don't live in that world because like we're not incapable of evil acts. However, there are just some
levels.
There are levels to it. And again, you think of like all of the men out there, like now we have phones, right? And we can see things all the time. And you think of how many
too often.
Right. Well, like that's the thing. I think it's upsetting to people because like we see it now, like all this stuff always happened.
Right.
And now we see it and our brains are like, what's happening? So I'm like, yeah, think of all the fucked up shit that has happened for hundreds and hundreds of years because they had no like, first of all, there's no record of it. And then also like back in the day, they could just like do it.
Yeah.
People could just do whatever they want. Yeah. This has become the true crime podcast that I never wanted.
Right. Yeah. And I love that, the ending of the movie, now that we're kind of coming to, Hannibal's still at large.
He's still out there.
Which is crazy to me, but he's still out there. And, Clarice makes mention to her friend saying like, he won't come for me because he would consider that rude, which I think that's so nice. Yeah,
it's a great line of dialogue. And it's like,
the world is a bit more interesting place with you in it, that he says to her on the phone when she gets her job offer and her promotion and everything. And he calls her to congratulate her basically, which is like, oh my God, what a nice guy.
Oh my God. So nice. Like my friends wouldn't even do that for me.
Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like how thoughtful. And also a little question here, a little plot point. How did he get the number for the inside of the FBI at a private party? I know he's very smart.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He got connected. Maybe he called and like did a different voice and was like, oh, I need to speak to this person. And then like it keeps ringing on and he goes, I need to speak to Clarice. Like,
right. Yeah. He's in the Bahamas. He's like, you know what? I'm having a nice little time, nice little summer getaway.
Yeah, he got his beach vacation that he wanted. And while he's on the phone with Clarice, he lets her know that he's going to have an old friend for dinner.
Right.
Which is so crazy because then here comes name I'm forgetting at this time.
Dr. Chilton's there.
Dr. Chilton, yes. I can't associate Chilton with evil because of Gilmore Girls, but now I guess I can.
Yeah.
And so he's there. Dr. Chilton gets off the plane in Bahamas, which I'm like, I don't know why he's there. Is it vacation or is it like he's doing like some weird like Christian mission thing or something?
No, I think he's there on vacation and it happens so quick. That's the thing. Everything moves so quick. So if you're not paying attention, it's definitely a movie that rewards a rewatch or several because at the end, he's getting off a plane and there are people assuring them that he's going to have security So he might be there for business or pleasure. Either way, Lecter has trailed him there. No, he's going to be there, and I'm sure he's going to get his, because this is a guy. He's going to munch and crunch. Like, that's how we know. And that's the thing. You can just end it there. Like, going back to what I said, there does need to be a Hannibal sequel.
No.
Like, Thomas Harris, I mean, I get it. Like, Thomas Harris made a lot of money on Silence of the Lambs, and people like, you know what? I love this character and these characters. Can you make more of this?
Yeah.
And that's like the trap. That's like the gift and the trap as the writer. You know, you're in a real misery situation, which, like, you know, you've seen Misery, right? No, you haven't. That's right. You barely watched a single Stephen King. It's like the idea that, like, there's a writer who wants to stop writing about these characters, but he can't because this is his job now.
Yeah.
Even if you're sick of it, you know? So yeah, anyway, yeah. Thomas Harris was like, make some money off this Hannibal character that I created. And yeah, there are sequels, but to me, in my headcanon, this is how the movie ends. And
I love the trail off scene where he's following him. You know, it's just like live cam footage, essentially.
It's beautiful. Yeah, the whole movie is really like, it's great. It's a movie very much like of the time. And it's just like, yeah, it's good filmmaking. Like, it really ropes you in. And again, it can just be like cut, print, done. That's it. You can imagine however you want to, like, what happens after that. But it really doesn't matter, because for them, like, he got what he wanted. Lecter got what he wanted. He wanted to be free. Yeah. And he's looking at ocean and trees. I'm sure that Clarice will, like, spend the rest of her life trying to, like,
well, because she kind of went a little crazy on the phone saying, like, Dr. Lecter, like, just like, wait, come back, you know?
Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter.
Yeah. That hard West Virginia R.
Pennsylvania, West Pennsylvania, West Virginia accent.
Yeah, it's in my mind, like, her and Ardelia, like, end up together just being like lesbians in the FBI. And then they start, like, their own X-Files kind of situation. That's my fan fiction. It's like, you know how on, I don't know if you know this because you don't read a lot of fan fiction like I do, but there's so many, like, supernatural crossovers. There's like, there's like thousands and thousands of like Harry Potter and Supernatural, like, two of the big ones. And it's like, they meet Marvel characters, they meet this and that. And it's like, in my mind, I'm mashing up Silence of the Lambs and X-Files.
Well, I'm trying to read Manacled, which is basically Harry Potter times Handmaid's Tale. And I'm having a hard time.
It's tough.
First, couple chapters here. I think I'm like 10% done. But I'm going to keep going because people say it's like some of the greatest fan fiction ever written. And I want to believe that. So I'll keep investigating.
It's a very long fan fiction. It's like novel length. I like fan fiction that's a little more contained.
Short. Yeah, me too.
It's a little more, because it's like, let's just be honest. It's smut, right? It's just straight up for your titillation. So it's like, that can be a little shorter, I think, unless you're really going to develop these characters. But, they people really wanted to see how Draco and Hermione in an alternate universe went down together. Yeah. And so what is your rating?
Listen, this movie gets an A from me.
Just like a straight A.
Straight up A, 95%. I could give it less if I wanted to say I wanted more Dr. Lecter scenes, but I'm not sure if there's a director's cut or not.
I don't know. I was really trying to locate the Blu-ray upon watching this. I ended up having to stream it, unfortunately. Sorry, physical media lovers. But I was pressed for time. I was trying to find it. I reached out to our local physical media store. They did not get back to me. I was like, fuck you. And I rented it.
What is this? Snail mail?
Yeah, I'm trying to get my content ready.
Physical media in the day and age of like social media. Like we gotta respond faster. But whatever.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We will definitely. I mean, this is like one you should have on disc or whatever.
It's so good.
You should own this. Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. I loved it. I was really like not knowing what to expect. I felt creeped out. I felt scared a little bit. Like, obviously I felt a ton of suspense. And I had a great time. And I laughed a little bit too. So it was like all worth it. And I felt romance in a way, like just a lot of interesting details and nuances and, you know, the journey that I went on to watch this movie. And I'm glad I did. I appreciate it. I felt like I learned a lot.
Yeah. Haven't you enjoyed actual good movie month? Like,
yeah, actual good movie month was definitely like top tier. I mean, we've had The Shining, Cabaret, and now Silence of the Lambs. Excellent movies this month. And I feel, you know, culturally more relevant and refreshed going forward. And in February, we're going to have another theme. Yeah. Do we want to announce it? I mean, it's kind of obvious, I feel like.
For February?
Yeah.
Yeah. You announce it since it was your idea.
So it's February is going to be Love Month. Obviously.
That's right. And I'm going to force Melanie to watch all of my favorite romances, mostly from the 90s. Yeah. I'd be interested to see if anyone can guess what we're going to. Maybe I'll do a poll. That's it for our episode today. Thanks again for listening. And we'll see you next time.
Yes. Okay.
Bye. Wait, let's do that.
Bye, horses.
Wait. So let's finish with goodbye, horses.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of VHS Sisters.
We hope you've had a fun and cozy time.
Please consider liking, leaving a review, and following us on your podcast platform of choice.
If you'd like to chat with us, please email us at VHSsisterspodcast@gmail.com.
Love you. Bye.